So most consultancy owners are desperately wanting to grow their team. The work is there and they just need more people to do the work, but they keep hiring the wrong team members, or they wait too long, or they just keep hoping the right person magically shows up. Today I'm going to show you exactly how to attract and hire high performers into your consultancy, the ones who actually move the needle, without burning time, wasting money, or settling for whoever walks through the door. Hi, my name's Josh. I spent 10 years as a director and shareholder of a 3 million engineering consultancy that we grew into a 30 million multidisciplinary firm across engineering, town planning, surveying and architecture. And building a team of high performers around us was one of the single biggest levers in that entire growth journey. So today we're going to unpack three big ideas. First, why building your brand and your reputation is the foundation for attracting great people. Number two, a proven step-by-step process to actually recruit high performers the right way. And third, the mindset shift that separates consultancies that grow with great teams from those that stay stuck. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk to you about is if great staff members, if great people, great team members don't know you exist, they're never going to come and work for you. So most consultancy owners treat recruitment like this transactional process. Like it's, oh crap, I need someone to come and work in the business. They post a job ad on Seek or LinkedIn. They wait, they hope. But high performers out there in your industry aren't scrolling on Seek. They're not looking on LinkedIn for a new job. They're watching who's building something interesting. And if you're invisible, you're already losing when it comes to recruiting. So the reality is that high performers, they have options. They're good at what they do. They're well known in the marketplace. Like from a recruitment point of view, they really get to pick and choose who they work for based on reputation, not desperation. They're usually well remunerated. They've usually got a good reputation in the marketplace. They don't need to go and work for you. So they're picking and choosing who they go and work for. So from a branding point of view, if no one in the industry knows your name, they don't know about you, you're not marketing you and your business, high performers are not choosing your consultancy to come and work for. So things like your LinkedIn presence, the content that you put out, your website, how you show up publicly, are you speaking at events, those sorts of things. Like that's your recruitment engine before a single ad is ever placed out there on LinkedIn or Seek. Like we've seen Boardroom coaching members, actually because their marketing is so good, their personal brand is so good, their business brand is so good, they actually have high performers, great staff members, people reaching out to them and asking them to work directly for their business off the back of their marketing, LinkedIn activity, their brand presence. So the culture and the values of your business need to be visible. People want to see what it's actually like inside your business, what you stand for, what kind of clients you work with, what growth looks like in your team, like the Friday barbecues, the staff highlights, all those sorts of things go towards building your brand, both personally and from a business point of view, and that works to attract high performers into your business. So the other thing to think about too is your team, like the current people who are working for you, they're your best brand ambassadors. Like when you've got a team of high performing individuals in your business who love working for you, they love being in the team, they've got great energy, they're out there talking about you and your business, like that energy is magnetic. And when you've got the wrong people, obviously that repels good candidates. So you want to focus on building a good team and having them talk about you and your business. Again, this all builds into brand building and hiring high performers into your consultancy. Now, caveat, like this isn't about having thousands of followers on Instagram or TikTok or LinkedIn and dancing weirdly. It's about being known and respected in your niche, like actually having good marketing, good brand building, becoming that consultancy or the consultancy owner in your space, that high performers, that you're magnetic, you're attractive, and high performers want to be part of that. So I want you to ask yourself, like if your ideal hire was researching your business, Googling you, looking you up on LinkedIn in your space today or tomorrow, would they be able to, one, find you, two, feel inspired by what they see, and three, actually want to reach out? And if the answer is no, that's where we start. Okay, so the second thing I want to talk to you about is most consultancy owners are winging a recruitment, and it's actually costing you. Like they're posting generic job ads, they're interviewing the first 3 people that apply and walk through the door. That's not a recruitment process. It's just a flipping of the coin and hoping it kind of work out. But I'm sure if you've had a bad hire or you've recruited the wrong person, like the consequences of that and getting that wrong are enormous. You've got lost time in the business, lost money, damage to your culture by hiring the wrong person, and often months of heartache before you're actually back to kind of square one. So what we want to install in your business is a proper step-by-step recruitment process for hiring high performers into your consultancy every single time. And so I'm going to take some time now to go through that step-by-step process so you leave this episode knowing exactly how to hire high performers into your business. All right, so let's rock and roll. First thing you want to do, and this might seem weird, before you even start the recruitment process, I want you to think about the ideal candidate for that role. So senior engineer, senior designer, mid-level drafty, report writer, who is that person that you want to bring into your business? And before you even write an ad, go to market, start talking to people, I want you to profile that role. So getting clear on if the ideal candidate walks through the door tomorrow, what's their personality style? What are their personality traits? Their values, their skill set, all those sorts of things. I want you to get really, really clear on the perfect future ideal candidate first. And most people skip this step entirely. They just go straight to recruiting. But we want to profile the role first so that we're really clear on who we want in that role. So when we start to talk to people in the marketplace, we can compare them back to this ideal role or ideal fit. Most people skip this step, most people don't do this, and then they wonder when they get through the recruitment process why they haven't actually hired the right person. So first step is profiling the role. Second step is then writing an ad that actually speaks to that ideal role. Like you want to actually attract people into your world. This is not just some generic resume that you're writing. Your ad is almost sales. It's persuasive marketing text. It should get people excited about the role in your business. It should speak to the values of like your ideal candidate. It's not just a generic list of KPIs and hours and you will do this and you will do that. You want to talk about the role, who it's suited to, the benefits of the role, and who you are. Like you almost want this job ad to attract your ideal candidate and repel the people who aren't suited. You want people to feel something when they read your job ad and go, hell yes, this is the role for me and I want to apply. So the second step is like taking that ideal candidate role and writing a job ad that actually attracts that person. Third step is screening call. So again, before you go deep, before you go into hours and hours of talking to this person, just a quick screening call first. So what we used to do building our consultancy was just a quick 10-minute check-in kind of call. I'm going through your resume, thank you for submitting it. You just want to use this screening call to validate their personality, talk to the person on the phone, can be in person if you want, but just simply giving them a call is easy. You want to validate their personality, their values fit, and whether it's even worth you going further. So some people can write an amazing application, an amazing resume, and you have a 4-minute conversation with them and you're like, absolutely not, are you a right fit for our business? So don't waste any time until you've done a screening call. Ask them about their goals, ask them about their values, what they're good at, what they're not so good at, get them talking about humility, how they've handled hard situations, those kinds of things. You'll know pretty quickly after a 10-minute conversation about whether you want to progress them to the next step in the interview process. The fourth thing is, once we've got our shortlist, once you've got a shortlist of people that you have had screening calls with, we want to profile that candidate properly. So they've passed the screening call, they're a good human, you kind of like them, they've got good energy. Use like a personality profiling tool. We've built one for our Boardroom members to see if they're a genuine match for that role that we profiled right at the start. And we only want to proceed to a formal interview if they're a match and if they're a fit. So you're going through, you've screened people, you've got 4 or 5 shortlisted candidates. You then want to properly personally profile those candidates to make sure they're an actual fit, and you're comparing them back to that original ideal role that you created. And again, this is where it gets hard, because you're like, oh, I'll just push that person through. Oh, I kind of like them. If they're not a direct match or a direct fit to the ideal role, they don't proceed. All right, so step 5, the formal interview process. This is where you go deep. We've got an entire recruitment process built out for our Boardroom members so they can follow this step by step. But like the formal interview process, they're in your office, they're in the boardroom. This is where you go deep. You want to listen for things like we language instead of I language. So when they're talking about, past experiences at previous businesses, if it was we, not me, or we, not I, it means that they're a team player. If they keep saying I, it means they're a lone wolf and won't be a team player. So you're listening for certain language types, we, not me. You're listening for a growth mindset, like someone who's open to learning, can admit their weaknesses, and is hungry to get better. So again, like we're humans, we're not perfect, and you're looking for that humility piece where someone's like, I've got a growth mindset, I'm always learning, I'm always growing, and I'll admit where I've got things wrong in the past. You want to ask about like career highlights to date. You want to ask about challenges. You want to ask about how they handle pressure, where they see themselves in 12 months if they get the role. All these sorts of things. And again, we build a full step-by-step process for our boardroom members to kind of ask all these questions. But you want to be using that formal interview process. Yes, we'll talk about technical assessment in a second. But again, it's the values fit. We, not me. Growth mindset, those kinds of things. And that's what you can get a really good feel from in an in-person formal interview. Please, so step 6, please do a technical assessment. I can't tell you how many times, you get through the entire process, you hire the person, you like them, and then you find out they're a complete dud when they come to the technical element, or they oversold themselves in the resume or oversold themselves in the interview process about their technical abilities. So what we used to do was we'd block out an hour and a half for the formal interviews. We'd let them know that like the first 30 to 40 minutes was going to be like a verbal discussion, just like the interview piece. We would have, like if it was a designer kind of role, we'd have our senior designer out the back. And obviously we'd let the candidate know, first bit's going to be discussion, the second bit's actually going to be a technical assessment where we're going to take you through your paces. We would do the first 30 or 40 minutes of the interview. If we liked the person, we really wanted to progress to the technical assessment, we would actually leave the boardroom, bring in our senior designer, and he or she would just sit down with them and go through like the basics or what they would expect of a person at that role. So if they're a senior designer, coming in for a senior designer role, we would load up a whole bunch of pre-prepared technical assessments. Our senior person would take them through the paces and they would literally walk out of the boardroom and go yay or nay kind of thing. So we got burnt too many times from hiring someone that said they were good and they actually weren't. So please, 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 whatever you do technical assessments. Even if it's an admin role, do technical assessments of their ability to do the tasks that you're wanting them to do. So never skip the technical assessment of the recruitment process. And finally, obviously the references. Move fast, call the references. Like if you're keen to make them an offer, always call the references. Obviously we know that people only put people on their references checks that are going to say nice things about them, but you just have conversations with them, ask them open questions. These are their references, and make sure you're ready to move quickly. So the job market's hot. If it's a high performer, they'll have options on the table. So you want to be ready to have move quickly, get the offer out to them as quickly as possible. And candidates just go cold if the process drags. So if you've got an absolute A player, finish a technical assessment, call their references, and get an offer to them that day. Because once they can only resign from their job once they've got obviously a signed contract in front of them. So that just helps the process keep moving, shows them that you're keen and serious, and keeps the momentum going from your conversation. So that is a step-by-step process for hiring high performers into your business. All right, third big idea, the third thing I want to talk to you about. So we've covered the process, full step-by-step process. You can literally just pull that out and build a recruitment process for your business. It's not hard, but most people skip steps, so don't skip any of the steps. The third thing I want to talk to you about is stop waiting until you're desperate. Hire for where you're going, not where you are in your business. This one thing trips up so many consultancy owners that we work with. Like they wait until they're drowning in work. They wait till they're burning out. They wait till they're completely overwhelmed before they even put an ad out to hire. And so when you're hiring from that place of desperation, burnout, overwhelm, oh my God, if we don't get someone in this seat now, we're going to lose the client. Like you just lower your standards so much. You rush the process. You let people move through those gates that shouldn't move through those gates, and you almost always end up with the wrong person in the role. So stop hiring for the now, hire for the future. Okay, so let's get into it. So like I said, hire for the future, not for where your business is at now. Like set a hiring trigger, like decide on that in advance. Look at your org chart, look for the future of your business, look at the people that you want to have in your business, and decide on those hiring triggers, like at what revenue level, at what team capacity do you start that recruitment process? Because it could take you 6 months to find the right person. Don't wait until you're in pain. Set the trigger point now, be logical and strategic about your approach here. Because this process takes time. So we want to set the trigger point early. And like I said, hire for the business that you're building, not the one that you have today. Again, I see so many people get caught up with this whole, cart before the horse. Do I hire now? Do I wait till I win the work? Yes, there's some obviously business fundamentals that you've got to play within. But if a good person comes across your desk, hire them and figure it out, because good team in your business is going to be the thing that actually drives your business forward. So hire for the business that you're building, not the one that you have today. Think about where you want to be in 12 to 24 months. What kind of person do you need in that role? That's who you hire, not just the random person that walks in off the street. Hire that person logically and strategically. Build your talent pipeline. Start having conversations early. Keep relationships warm. Keep a little black book of people that you've talked to in the industry who you'd love to be in your business. Keep in touch with them. Keep connecting with them. Have those people in mind, because when the time comes, it's not going to be about posting the job ad and people are going to apply. That'll happen, but you want to be able to talk to these people in your little black book who you've built relationships with the whole way through. So hiring great people is one of the biggest growth levers in your business. When you've got a high-performing team around you, your capacity grows, your revenue grows, your time freedom as the founder grows. So it's not just this operational decision, it's a strategic decision. So if you're sitting here right now going I need to hire, but I haven't started yet, here's the action. Go profile the role of that ideal person this week. Get clear on their candidate's personality traits, values, skill sets, because getting clear on who you're looking for is the first and most important step. And once you're clear on that, you'll be really surprised at the opportunities that show up. So I want to talk to you about an incredible client called Jordan. He's an amazing Boardroom member. He absolutely has nailed it in terms of what we're talking about today, hiring strategically to grow his business. So when Jordan joined Boardroom, he was running a tight, lean business, doing solid work, but he had a very clear vision on where he wanted to take the business, and he knew that in order to get there, he needed to build the right team around him. And so what Jordan did brilliantly was follow the exact process that we've talked about today. He didn't just hire anyone to fill a seat. He got clear on who he needed. He ran a proper recruitment process, and he hired people who genuinely fit the culture and the direction he was taking the business. He made a hire or an offer to a senior mechanical engineer. He brought on a young engineer, and he built the team out to 7 people, all in a relatively short time. And the result was Jordan 5x'd his revenue in a single year. He grew significantly, which was wild. He had record month after month after month. He had his highest month ever in the business, doubled his net profit, all by hiring strategically, winning work from high-value clients, and backing himself as a business owner. So he didn't wait till he was desperate. He didn't wait till it was last minute. He hired strategically for where the business was going, not for the one that he had. He built a team around him that could deliver great work. He opened up new opportunities, and that freed him up to focus on the growth of his consultancy. And after a huge year, he took his wife and his son away to Fraser Island for a well-earned break, because he'd built a business that could keep moving without him there every single day. So to pull this together, if you want to build a consultancy with a high-performing team, the 3 things to take away are: 1, build your brand so great people want to work with you. 2, run a proper recruitment process so you're hiring the right people every single time. And 3, hire proactively. Hire for where you're going, not for where you are right now. And if you'd like to go deeper on building more efficient, more profitable consultancy, grow your revenue consistently, and build a business that gives you the life and the freedom you started for, make sure you check out our 10 million plus consultancy roadmap training. It's a step-by-step guide to help you grow to that next revenue level, whether it's to 1 million, to 3, to 5, or 10 and beyond, and build a business you can be genuinely proud of. The link to that training is sitting right below this episode. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you in the next one.